The thoughts and views of this podcast and the sole views of the curators of this podcast is not the views of the United States Postal Service.
And we are back. That's right, on the Route Podcast, episode 27. My voice is jacked up. And on this episode, we were talking about the contract, how we were still out of contract, trying to negotiate how we're going to get paid going further. But before we dive into it, as always, let my brothers have the first words and introduce themselves.
Speed Morton, baby, like, I feel like an NFL player. Like, y'all gonna pay me or something like the hell? Like, we low tier players. So, like, what is this contract? We need to get our money. You deserve it. Stop playing with us.
That man said a whole lot for a little bit of time. But anyway, this is Black, you know what I'm saying? You know, we always looking to get paid. We carriers, we work hard. We out here beating the streets with our feet. So we need to get paid.
Man. What's up, everybody? This is Aaron. Thanks for choosing On the Route Podcast for your listening experience.
And this is your engineer, Big Sean. And it's kind of crazy because our previous episode we were talking about some of our coworkers not getting paid like they're supposed to be. And you would think while you're dealing with something like that you at least have the next contract settled. But they don't.
Nah.
So not only do we have some of our coworkers not even getting their money they're supposed to get right now when they work, we're not even getting our contract and even know we're going to get paid going further.
Right.
And this is the most trusted company in America. So does anybody have any, because this is all pretty much speculation at this point because they're not really telling us a lot. Surprise, surprise. We have to actually look at Reddit and things of that nature and hear from our other coworkers who might be in DC and give us a heads up on what it's looking like. Because as you know, our competitors, UPS, got a nice big bump up in pay. And we do similar things that they do, plus some, in terms of delivering parcels. But we also do letters and flats, which is something they do not do. And we all don't have a truck. So some of us are on foot, which makes the job even more tedious and more taxing on the body.
And
So-
you can't get into the places we can get into.
Yeah, we have these set of keys, we call it swing keys, universal keys, whatever you want to call it, that allow us to get into mail receptacles. And also we have passwords in certain buildings that everybody else doesn't have because the mail has to be delivered under all circumstances.
They gotta ask us basically how to get in there. Like, can you let me in, middleman?
No.
You know, we saw numerous times we asked that. Can you let me in, middleman? I ain't got passcode.
Can you give me some of that money you're making?
Yeah.
That's sharing what we're saying now, yeah.
Share the wealth, bro. Share the
That's
wealth.
probably what we be saying now. I'm not letting y'all nowhere.
I'm like, nah,
Bring me up
brother.
some bread first.
I'm like, can you spare some change, brother?
No.
Can you pass it out?
So, does anybody have any updated information about the contract situation?
Well, from like you said, the speculation, the last thing I seen, I told y'all before that they was talking about a 7 to 9%, like I think it was, I forgot the guy name was saying on Reddit, like Redford, yeah, he was saying 9%. I'm like, well, they were
The
saying,
National Union president.
yeah, exactly, like that's what they would agree to. The one previous before I heard, like I saw something on Reddit, it was like I said, speculation. It was like, well, you might get something equivalent to them, or maybe I think it was like, what was that? I think it was like 22, 23%, I think it was, am I mistaken?
Well, what I've read, we were negotiating a 25 to 30% raise.
Right.
And Redford was saying that he would accept a 7 to 9% raise, which is ridiculous. I don't understand where he got those numbers from, but, you know, I don't understand where he came back from because he was, you know, MIA for a while. You know, because we did it on our previous pod, you know, we let y'all know that he had DUIs and he had personal issues and, you know,
Time of absence, leave of absence.
yeah, he had a leave of absence for a while. I'm not even sure where he came back up or how he was even in the negotiations.
That boy the boogeyman.
But, you know, I don't see how he was even able to be considered competent enough to accept even a 7.9, let alone negotiate a 25 to 30.
Well, I got told that before, like with contracts too. Also, they the person that's negotiating contracts, they get more out of it too. So the thing is, he might get something outside of whatever it is. He might not tell us, oh well, if you accept this, we might get a certain percentage of here and there. Like I was saying before, when I was doing contract, when I was like I said, I used to work at Teamster. Like they got relationships outside of us, basically. They won't tell you, like unless you're in the meetings to see that. Like, so when I was there, I'm like, wow, y'all really cool and homie. Like I said, y'all go out to have beer with each other, so and so. Basically, it is business, but it's like, alright, it's kind of like janky bad business, like to the point where like, dang, how could I trust you with me doing something here and you talking to him? I understand we're supposed to have a cordial conversation to the point, but what is it to the point where it's, how can I trust you to negotiate something that actually benefits me? It don't benefit you more so. It's like, well, just take this. This is the best thing you're going to get. I hate that when as far as negotiation wise, well, look, it's the best thing we got on the table right here. You want to take this, because I don't know what the other side's going to give you. And that's why I feel like more so in that kind of, like, meeting wise here, it's like, all right, well, you got to give a little to take a little basically back here and there, but it's no.
Nah, that's bullshit.
Yeah, I know.
There's no give a little, take a little shit. No. This is what we owe. This is what we want. If we negotiate at 25 to 30, then you need to come somewhere close to that, like 20, 22, somewhere close to it. This is not like, because according to the rules and everything in black and white, tell you the truth, carriers, we technically, from what I've read, we don't have much leverage. Because we can't strike, we can't organize, none of that stuff. Only thing we actually probably can do is, from what I've seen, and I haven't read anything, but y'all let me know if I'm wrong, is protest.
Yeah.
That's it. But most I don't care nothing about no protest because it doesn't hurt them. People only care about stuff that hurts them. So if we was able to strike or anything like that, yeah, that would hurt them. That's why UPS got their money, because they were threatening to strike. And they know that if they strike, how would they deliver those packages? How would they get the job done? Naturally, it would have probably fell to us. We would have probably had to do it, but they can't afford to let their competitors do their job because then they go out of business. So, yeah, like we deserve our money too. We still out here. We still, like Rick said, we do more than what they do. We don't have, some of us like us at walking stations. Like Aaron has a truck, he benefits from it. You know what I'm saying? He chill. You know what I'm saying? But us, we, like he was at our station too, so he knows what it feels like to beat the streets with your feet. Like you walking all day long. Not to mention if you had a bad route, and Aaron did a lot of those bad routes because he was there as a CCA. So a lot of those bad routes I didn't do. Rick did one of them when he first came over there, and Brandon is utility for it now. I did a okay semi bad route. I didn't do as bad as routes as they did, and I don't have as much time as Rick do. But
23 was way worse than 11 route.
You think so?
Yeah,
They about even. They about
way less
even.
stops.
Way less
He
stops,
did
even,
23
bro.
before too. What do you think?
Yeah, I like 23.
23
better than
11. 11 got more.
For me, it's not about the stops, it's about the terrain.
Mhm.
23's terrain is crazy.
So we're doing like the
Listen,
hills,
hills.
I would deal with a hill with 50 blocks, then to deal with a flat block with 50 houses and an apartment complex that got steps.
Yo, that's the one thing I can't stand about living here. I
Yeah,
can't
that's
stand
the
apartments.
worst part. Of
That
that.
don't be.
Yeah.
You like this? I'm like, God, hey, I'm not done this shit.
So yeah, we out here, we do the job. We do the job the way we supposed to have it done. At our station, we don't have too many problems. Aaron station, he has said they had too many problems. So we do our job. We come to work, and we deserve, to if you don't want to give us a 25 to 30, like I said, get somewhere close. And like Rick said before, I'm saying if y'all can't give us all that, give us something to compensate, like as far as our retirement, as far as our TSP. Like Rick said before, if we put in 6, y'all put in 8. Or double it at, in some cases if it's a lower number. But, we deserve something more, like everyone said before. Count our CCA time. Count our CCA time towards our retirement.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we give us some kind of incentive for us to be like, okay, well, at least they care a little bit. Because right now it don't seem like you care at all.
Yeah.
So. Because what's the point? We just run to the competitor at the end of the day.
Most people might.
I just don't understand how the fact that, like, since I've been here, we've been working out a contract each year. We've been working through it. And the thing is, even with the pandemic, they gave us that bogus check. They're like, well, hey, this is the money you owe. I'm like, what? I'm like, it didn't even add up at all. So I'm like, why each time, like, you guys can't negotiate when it comes to the time, or it's right there on the board, like, all right, let's negotiate. No, y'all let it lead into the next year. Well, all right, well, this is what we owe you back pay from the last put. I'm like, all y'all doing is taxing the money of what we have. Like, it doesn't make any sense. That's why I'm like, just do what you're assigned your job to. Get the contract done before it's coming to the point of, all right, well, dang, what we gonna do here? Like, get it done when it's due time, basically. All right, contract time's up now. Let's do our contract here. Let's get it signed. Boom, bam, there. But nah, they want to be lazy. Like, you know what? We gonna let it roll over. They gonna what, you gonna leave the post office? You ain't gonna leave. That's what they feel like. It's like they lazy. Like, well, look, they gonna sign. Look, whatever you put out there, they gonna take it anyway. It's like a dog. Whatever I put out there, you gonna eat. That's what it is.
Yeah, but if the life of the contract is usually what, like 4 years,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
So if the life of the contract is 4 years, you think you were starting to, if it takes you about a year, maybe two, to negotiate a new contract, you would think in the middle of that contract, you will be starting to have some kind of meeting, some kind of talks to get a feel of what people want, what they want to see, what you can agree upon, and stuff like that. So by the time you get to that last year, y'all finalizing a new contract. So when the old contract is done, you run right into a new one.
Mm-hmm.
Like how hard is that? Like that speaks to the incompetency of the higher ups.
Yeah.
Like if you can't handle something that simple, which is not hard to do, because to my understanding, y'all don't have much to do throughout the day. Like not as much as we do. Anyway, like y'all chilling most of y'all day. So it takes a couple minutes to have a conversation with the people that you know gonna be in the room to negotiate the contract. And the crazy part about it is y'all have like monthly and weekly meetings with these same people.
Yeah.
Like how do y'all not add that to the meeting
Mm-hmm.
and come to some kind of negotiation? No, you wait till the contract is over to start having meetings.
Yeah, that's
No.
ass late.
Yeah, how does that work?
And my thing is like, when you're actually having these conversations, like you just said, like there's certain things you know you need to improve upon, based on what your competitors are doing, and based on the working conditions. What's the drop rate in terms of people that are CCAs? How much are they quitting by? What can we do to make them stop quitting? I mean, so a lot of times, what you pay somebody will make them stop quitting,
Yeah.
regardless of how bad the situation is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, money change minds. Believe it or not.
Money makes the world go round.
Yeah, and all those people that, bunch of people that come to work late and call outs, a lot of that would change. Believe it or not. A lot of that would change because money talks, bullshit walks, everybody knows it. Like, that would change. They will come to work more. People will show up on time because you know why? Because when you start looking at them zeros start adding up, and you look at how much, just imagine if we got the money that UPS workers have got.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
Oh wow.
Like, bro.
everybody be in this joint every day.
You know,
Every day.
the crazy part about it is, I don't understand why they can't just give us that or even give us more, because it's not like we have competitors, but not real competitors. Like they only compete with us when it comes to delivering partials. You know what I mean? No one can do the other part of the job, which is the delivering the letters and flats. You know what I mean? And organizing the mail. No one else can really do that. So it's not like we have to worry about somebody delivering the mail for us.
So where would the money come from?
You know what I mean?
Like
Well-
where that money come from?
Well, I think based off of the price of stamps, the price of first class and priority mail, like we don't have anybody that people can go to get a competitive rate.
Mm-hmm.
So if you did raise the rate on it, what could they really do?
But don't you think about them knowing that they don't care? Like it's like, well, if I don't have no competitor, I don't have to do anything. Like I don't. Like,
But
it's not forced to. You know,
That's
I'm
what,
not forced to them.
that's what it falls into. They don't care about the employees.
Yeah, they don't. They just care about whatever it is, the bottom line for them more. So like, how can I make myself look good to the higher ups? So like, all right, well, this is what I did basically. At least we gave you something. They can't say, well, we gave the carrier something. And the thing is, like I said, when I'm in negotiation, I can get backlash and say, all right, well, I don't want to agree with this. We can't do that.
Well, you know what? So on this topic, right? Based on what we know so far, we know that if they're not trying to pay the carriers, they're not trying to pay the clerks, the mail handlers, the environmental technician people,
Truck drivers.
truck drivers,
Yeah.
they're not trying to pay these people. Where's the money going?
To,
Who's getting the money?
well,
Because management isn't getting a huge raise. We haven't heard anything from them. Because, in the Philadelphia area, these motherfuckers can't hold water.
Nope, they can't.
they tell you
Just gonna be
that's
honest.
split.
So everybody that's out there listening to the On Route podcast, we're stationed in Philly, the 191 installation. And in our installation, they can't hold water. The second the management would have started getting raises, we would have found out about it. They'd have been like telling people and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not getting crazy raises in their profession of the
What-
post office. So where is the extra money going? We get these texts about them making 18 billion this quarter and all that. So I invite everybody to actually look, because at the top of our company is what the board of governors.
Yeah.
The board of governors are the people that make the ultimate decisions on how things go. Who are these people? Half of y'all out there that's probably listening to this podcast probably never even thought about them.
Exactly.
Probably don't know one of these people, how many it actually is. That's public information. You can Google this stuff.
Movement, didn't it?
So I think we should really start looking at who these actual people are and putting names and faces to these positions.
So we get some
Because if
transparency.
there's any money that's getting stolen or getting siphoned or getting put in somewhere, I'm blaming them.
Well, is it the fact that it's going to jobs where people, like you said, that's coming up with these so quote unquote ideas to save themselves? So like the person might be, not say the job's miscellaneous, but he might have a job that's kind of like, all right, it's a little bit weird. Like it might come up where the point where they tell you to scan, flash, and letter base. The person come up with that, he might get assigned a
Well,
bonus
like,
base
well,
too.
like me and Black were saying the last part about outsourcing. You can't tell me that you're outsourcing so much help that you're paying these people. That's where the money's going. It can't be that.
That's a third party.
No,
Because a lot of our technology is not updated.
Yeah, and then like we said before, outsourcing, you don't pay them a regular salary. You only pay them when you need them.
A flat rate.
So there could be months that go past and you don't even use them. Where's the money go?
Somebody got it.
Yeah, it's going to
Checks to see
somebody's
somebody
pocket.
going where the number wise like, well, oh, hey, I'm a little short now. Where did money go? Oh, well, it's somewhere in the emails or something.
Yeah.
Yo, me personally, like, I don't know about the carriers and the people that work in the DC metropolitan area, which is like the, ground zero for the post office. But y'all been working on a contract just like we've been working on a contract. Like you just said a couple minutes ago, we can't really strike or anything like that. But you can protest.
Nope.
And like I said, a lot of this stuff about some of these people that are high up in the post office is public information. Even down to where they live.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you want to protest outside their door, you could do that. There's really nothing they can do about it. You know what I mean? You could comment about unfair pay. You know what I mean? Unfair conditions for non-career employees, or the fact that our non-career years don't count towards our retirement. These are all things that if you want to make some noise about, that's how you can make some noise about. Because I'm gonna tell you one thing: nobody wants to be embarrassed on their neighborhood block.
Nope. No, they don't.
They don't want to see their employees that they've been railroading show up in front of their door, walking around with picket signs, calling you a criminal, calling you a crook, calling you a dictator, or a slumlord or whatever. Makes you look bad in your neighborhood. So people in that DC metropolitan area, just keep that in mind. When we keep going on and on without having no contract resolution.
Right.
Yeah.
You're just gonna keep doing the same thing. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
because people gonna keep playing in your face until you
do something about it.
do something about it.
Well, of course, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, because some people respond well to conversations, some people respond well to
Actions.
action, some people
Permanent
respond well to physical pain. So, no, not saying we're gonna do anything physical.
Not
I'm just
advocating violence.
Not at all.
I'm just letting you know that this was some people respond to, and because we can't strike or organize, they try to take away our ability to somewhat fight for ourselves in the workplace.
Yeah, no voice.
Yeah, they're trying to hold us down. So, when they do these negotiations or they talk about this kind of stuff, they do what they want. They do what they want because they could tell you, oh, they can see something now. Oh yeah, we're doing a contract, or this person's moving up, or this person's new vice president. Oh, vote for it and let us know how you feel. Let me tell you why that stuff doesn't mean anything. Because half of us look at that piece of paper and know what it is. They're just sending it because it's a formality. They really don't care. They're going to do whatever they want to do when they want to do it. Because there's plenty of us that filled out that paperwork that I know. Like when I was CCA and I was at Overbrook, everybody, I seen Rick fill it out. A whole bunch of people in that station filled it out. You know what happened? To every people, most of us thought the same way. You know what happened? It went the opposite way. Like, and I'm pretty sure all carriers probably feel similar to that way. So that's how I know they're gonna do what they want to do at the end of the day, which is wrong because the union's supposed to be negotiating on our behalf, and they're not negotiating for what we want, because if they were, they would ask us. They would talk to us. Each shop steward at each individual station would talk to us about what we want to see in this new contract. What do we think? What do we think we deserve? And take notes. Like you can say it at a stand-up talk. It don't take long. And we'll tell you how we feel. You can generalize it and write it down. And when y'all get into your little cluster of the union and y'all talk about it, whoever's representing us at these meetings, bring it forward.
But let me ask you, who is actually representing, like, as far as like the district of Philadelphia? Like, is it
It's the union. It's Rutherford.
The union president. I'm saying, like, so my thing is, of course, it's not the shop store one, but it's the union president. So my thing is as far as like city-wise, like we might not be the highest person, like far as for information, like the person that might represent us might not get out the best thing. So it might be a person from another state that might speak on something. So I think it might go from state to state to state. Whoever, like, I guess it's more so the alpha in the room or got more problems, wherever it is. So it might be, say, for instance, it might be California, it might be New York, it might be so and so here and there. We might be a big entity to somebody else, but our problems, wherever it is, might be not as big as California going with gangbang or people that's getting robbed now. We might not be getting robbed as much as California here and there. So it's like, all right, we go in rooms and we like, all right, this is my problem here. And they be like, well, all right, that's a minor problem. Like, well, we gonna deal with this right here. So what are y'all doing when y'all all get in the group and all minds coming together? How y'all dictating and telling, like, all right, well, we're gonna take this idea from this person and bring it to the joint here and here. Like, what are you doing? Like, how are you grasping each other's ideas and trying to get like continuity to one and make it feel like, all right, we kind of helping each other out. We hear y'all as far as ideas wise, but what is the main thing we gonna go with in the contract, and like we gonna stick to it? We gonna be like, all right, I'm staying on ground with this. Like, this is what we need here. This is what we gonna want for the contract. Blah blah blah. Like who's telling that person or who's negotiating the contract to say like, look, this is what we want here. Half the time, I was in meetings, they just go out what it is. Like, well, we look at the contract. No, we can't do that. We can't do that.
The thing
I'm serious. That's how it is. The contract.
No, my thing is because, like you saying, like, no, to me, that is the excuse that they'll try to use from the union side to say why they can't get it the way we all want it, which is BS. Because if you're the president of the national union, for one, at least every month, at least once, all the presidents of the respective branches should have a conference.
Yeah, at least.
You know what I mean? As far as like web conferences, as far as talking to each other on the web.
Right.
At least once a year, you guys should meet somewhere. I guess DC.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For a convention, you all in the same room. And these issues can be addressed when it's contract time. Safety is an issue, like you said out in California, like you said in some of these other places, people get robbed. So what has to change to help safety? Start time.
Right. Basically.
You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure start time is a huge issue that we all probably have across the board, across the country. Of course, pay. That can be rationalized because all you have to do is look at the national average of what everything costs.
Right.
Yep.
And it'll apply across the board to everybody in the freaking country.
Yo, we need constant updates of what's going on too, because everybody can't make the union meetings. Like everybody got lives and stuff like that, kids and stuff. So we need like constant updates of what's going on, because there ain't no transparency.
Yeah, there's no website where it's up to date constantly.
Well, the NLC.
But that's nationwide.
Cause we gotta go to Reddit to find some stuff out.
Yeah,
we want to have a local.
There should be a local website for every branch. It's not that hard. Like, as much as we pay union dues, that will cover the .com or the .org.
Well, no,
whatever the hell you want to call it.
why is the shop store or per se, like, if you're a shop store, you're supposed to go to, like, say I'm in the office and I hand out papers, like, all right, I'll print out papers and, like, all right, this is the update we got from the last meeting. And you hand out each individual, basically. But also, the thing
But
is,
you got a website, like, you don't need the papers, though.
yeah, but my thing is, people that lazy to the point, like, who's really going to do it?
That falls on you, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, falling in.
But the thing is to have it available.
Yeah, I'm saying, but my thing is
To
also,
cover your own butt.
but my thing is management. The thing is also you gotta have union time for that too. So the thing is, management might say, well, you can't do that. You ain't got union time.
The people that work at the union hall.
Okay,
set up
all right,
the website.
yeah.
They
You know,
set
I'm
up
saying,
the-
but I'm saying the person that passed, I'm saying like, so if the fact that our shop store goes to the hall, basically paper basically, he has to still have union time to pass it out to each individual person, or he has to come early in the morning to go to each case and like, all right, here, this is the paper update I got, boom, 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 boom. Like that's what I'm saying. You gotta say like, oh, we always say like, y'all tell me like, you have to step up and do your shit. Basically, you want to do something, you gotta step up and do it. Like you want to see results, get the shit done. Like don't sit here and pussyfoot around, excuse my language, around with certain things. Get it done because this is something that affects me, you, and everybody here. It affects you because you're actually the shop store. Like it affects your boss here and there. Like don't you want to see something where it has representation? So you can kind of machismo and kind of brag about like, well, look, man, you know I got a good contract. You know what I mean? Look, that was on my bad. Like When you want that for your reputation or on your resume, like going forward, if you want to move up the ladder, like it's a shop store, that's something I think you want to take pride into and actually feel like, well, all right, yeah, I just like I said, I stand on this. I did this in third base. I got a contract signed. I did all this. Like you can brag about that stuff. That's what you want to do. That's something not to be braggadocious with. That's what you do. That's how you get results. That's how you get answers. That's how you see stuff. People see results. Things get done.
Well, there are a lot of good shop stores out there. Like, you know, they do a lot of stuff. They let you know what's going on at the Union Hall. They you know, allow you to do and try to get some kind of, you know, input to see how you feel and what you think. But it doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Because you got people that's higher than them that will veto the hell out of what they saying
It's like, oh, we can't
and
do that.
shut them down. And you're sitting there looking like, you know, I'm here to represent my carriers from my station, and you're shutting us down. And every last one of us deserve a voice of how we feel and what we think we deserve.
Right.
No matter if the higher up think we deserve it or not, we deserve to say what we want to say.
As long as
But
it's
they shut it down. They don't want to hear what we got to say. And to be honest, I don't think we see the communication in the post office just in our individual stations.
Mm-hmm.
And the communication don't get better as you go up the ladder.
respectful. Worse.
Definitely not.
So it makes me feel like a lot of things fall through the cracks, even though, like I said, we got some good shop stewards, some really good ones. But we also got some really bad ones.
But like Rick said before, people don't like doing conversation or dealing with face to face, like where you can't hide behind a computer screen and send an email to me. Now if I come see you now, it's like, all right, well look, or I have my shop store or whoever it is here, like, look, this is our problem. Like, that's how things mostly get resolved, basically face to face, not through email. Like that's what you have meetings for. That's what you have like corporate room. That's anything we should do with corporate. You have meetings. You have certain things that like, all right, we can work out the situation what it is. That's what you do that for. That's how you handle business. Period. That's business 101.
Well, a lot of them don't know how to handle business. A lot of them have very cowardly ways of doing things. You know what I mean? They try to hide behind their position and their title. And, you know, the position that's held doesn't make you powerful. It's you yourself makes you powerful. Because there are people that have powerful positions, but they're weaklings.
Yeah.
Those people usually call puppets. You see it all the time in politics. You know, somebody's CEO of this or president of that, vice president, and he's not really the one making the decisions. There's somebody behind him in the shadows, you know, puppeteering him to do whatever they want him to do.
Yeah. He's just the face of the
He's just the face, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you see a lot of that in the post office a lot of times.
It's a shame because you would think, like I've said this plenty of times before, anything with United States in front of it, you think it will be on the up and up. You would think, but the U.S. isn't on the up and up. So, but you know you live here. You're like, this is where where we're from. So you think, it would be a good thing, good job. It would be reasonable and fair. Not even close. Not even. Like they, take. That's what they do. They take from you.
Ain't nothing been fair since the county fair, brother. Ain't nothing been fair since the county fair, right? I ain't gonna lie.
Do y'all think that they waiting to finalize the negotiations till after the new tax bracket come up?
Well, no, I think before what it is now.
You know what?
That's a
I
good
didn't
question.
think about that.
But then also but in my thing, also the excuse they use also now, like the issue, it's been since March. So you say, all right, in March you want to do the summertime. Now your next excuse to say is, oh, well, it's the holidays. You know, we don't do anything around the holiday season. Gotta wait till next year. Like, what? Like, I don't understand it. Like, even like now with bidding, you can't do anything with the holidays. I get it because they're wondering, but you had time. We've been on a contract since almost since March.
Since May.
Since May, I'm saying, yeah. So you had that's 8 months. That's 7 months in there. You had 7 months almost to negotiate all stuff and figure out what you don't want to do because it's not a priority to you guys. It's not a priority to go, well, I'm getting paid. Like I said, it's everybody for themselves. Well, I'm getting paid my check. My salary still come. Like, I ain't got to worry about nothing. It'll get done when it get done, basically. It's kind of like I slide over to the side. Well, new year, all right, we'll figure out this year. We're going to come with that. Why can't you do it before then? Because it's too much work.
Well, let's look at it from the perspective of the question I had. So, I want to know like what Rick think basically. I want to know what Rick think from the perspective of the question I just asked. Because it's about to be a new tax bracket, like Biden said.
Mhm.
So I know like CCAs, they're gonna be in that tax bracket. Well, maybe because they cutting the hours, right,
Yeah.
for CCAs. So what you think? You think that's a possibility?
It will make a lot of sense because how this country kind of works based on just the history and what we've seen. Whenever we get more money, things cost more, or taxes get higher. So it looks like you got more money, but after taxes and after the cost of living and everything, you're just breaking even still. It's almost like that guy that used to get paid like $100 every 2 weeks back in 1925. Like he was living middle class, whatever. He was able to go to the grocery store, buy everything, and have enough money to pay his mortgage and all that other stuff. At the end of the month, he made $200 a month. He was cool. That wouldn't come. $200 a month would save anybody right now. But $2,000 a month, you're the same guy that the guy was back then,
Yeah.
because everything is kind of in the same ballpark of that 2,000. So the guy in 1923, if you would have gave him $2,000, he's rich. He's probably balling. You know what I mean? Because he has more than enough. They never want you to have more than enough. You have to literally work yourself to the bone, be smart, strategic with your money and how you do with your finances to create a savings to have more than enough. Because they're not paying you to do it. Like, why do you think most people take vacations probably once a year? That's all they can afford. You know what I mean? Even though you have the adequate time to take 2 or maybe 3, they know you can't afford to do it, and that's on purpose. They'd rather you be at work than be with your family. They'd rather you be at work than be with be doing something else that might be constructive to society.
What you live and die and eat and sweat and breathe.
Like, they don't care about your freedom, seriously.
So what did Biden say exactly? Did he say like, I'm sure it's going up. So like by how much?
She said at the top of the year it's gonna be tax bracket. I didn't look at the full details.
Then you say Rick was like 45,000, like you said, somebody like under
Yeah, like people who
45,000.
benefit the most from it appear to be people that make 45,000 or less.
So
So
basically,
granted, we're not getting as many taxes pulled out of our paychecks, everybody, but the people who really get the extra money is the people that are already broke.
Oh, yeah.
so it's kind of like how it was when, like the people that's making 45 or less is kind of like how it was before with people making $30,000.
Yeah.
They getting this, the 45 or less is now
Well,
the same benefits.
How it was as a CCA when you didn't get as much taken out of your check, and it looked like you had a lot more.
Like you had a
working
lot.
hours.
Oh yeah, because you know benefit wise or something like that. Like,
Mhm.
but even still, like my thing with the CCA stuff, because I missed the thing. I missed the health thing. I had to pay Obamacare. I was still paying a lot because I didn't sign up for it, so I had to still get health care. I didn't meet the window gap, so I was paying like equivalent to almost like a regular was paying because I was paying almost $300 a month.
No, you talking about the open enrollment?
Yeah, I missed that, but what's going to be? And I was paying for
Yeah,
I was paying Obamacare, and I was actually paying more for Obamacare because I missed the what's called. I'm like, wow, this is a very, very large sum that you got in my pockets, sir. Okay.
Yeah, it's worth it.
Yeah, it was worth it. It was worth it. I mean, it was just like, all right, I see that about 350 400. I'm like, Jesus, okay, like.
Well, it's worth it if you're using it.
No, I was using it. I used it for what I had to, but it was like when I seen it still, I was like, hey, I mean, it's gonna be no Vaseline, huh? It's gonna take what you got in my pocket, huh? Because I was a CCA and I wasn't like still. Sorry, but it was just like, yo, I couldn't do it. I even have money. Like I was still. It'd be a time like, all right, I'll make enough to what it is, but I still want to do certain things. I ain't have enough. It was like, oh, come Obamacare, here come this.
Yo, Brady got 2 references. That's 2 references.
I know.
He said, "What's you want?"
Oh, no Vaseline, man. Look at it.
Pussyfoot and no Vaseline.
No
Wow.
Vaseline. Ice Cube,
Yeah.
man.
Was to touch on like just how like they've been maneuvering. When you do slimy stuff, it shows in your character. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're somebody that's doing things righteously or by the book or straightforward, that shows in the way they handle situations.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and a lot of times, especially in this job, at the management level, there's a lot of slimy people and a lot of slimy things they do. You know what I mean? And you can tell how slimy they are because when they're confronted, they lose all morality, they lose all common sense, business ethics, everything just goes out the window. It's kind of like survival mode.
No, when something I heard, where he says like, I'd rather tell the truth because you can't remember your lie.
Yeah,
I
that's
heard
true.
something like that. Just heard
That's
that.
true.
It was just something very knowledgeable right there.
Well, I think we all have seen that quote unquote fold up like a lawn chair reference from management. I'm pretty sure we all seen that when they, when they say stuff and they assume that you're just going to take it at face value. And when you fight back and you know what they're talking about and you let them know, no, you're wrong, they don't have a rebuttal. They don't know what to say after that. So what they do, fold up like a lawn chair because there's nothing else to do.
Like I'll give you guys.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Look, you talking about me?
Hold up.
He gonna
And this segment of the podcast is called Story Time with Rick.
Yo.
And my voice is a little jacked up, but I'll give you guys, especially the people that are watching at home, a quick and listening too on SoundCloud. And if you like this episode, by all means, hit that like button, comment, please let us know how you guys are feeling about the contract.
Subscribe, please
not
subscribe.
being actually handled correctly. And if you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe and tell a fellow coworker that's not aware of us that there's some good stuff out here they can look at. But I'll give you guys two scenarios, right? And to me, this is a perfect example of rural carrier area, city carrier area, right? So, like we said before, we work in Philadelphia. That's the city, right? I live in the suburbs, like 35 minutes out, which is kind of like the AOs, as how we call it. So, we have a postmaster that delivers the mail to my neighborhood, the area I live in, and then we have, the postmaster that's in Philadelphia. In two separate occasions, I actually had to go to both buildings where both people were, right? I think I went to my actual post office that delivers my mail just to see, what the routes look like, just see if I wanted to transfer when I first moved around the area. Because it wasn't that far from my house. So I was like, hey, it might be more convenient. Mm-hmm. So I show up, Now, I'm in plain clothes because I'm not working. But I always bring my ID because when you go into a postal building, postal employees, you should always have your ID on you somewhere so they can see and know that offhand, oh, this is somebody that works for us. Mm-hmm. And if you're working in the building, when you see a person, you should see them immediately first and then look for the ID on the body somewhere. That's what you should do. I know this just from 10 plus years of doing security and things of that nature. So I walk into the actual AO office, which is the one that delivers my mail, go to the, to the double doors, I guess that leads out to where the trucks are. I'm on the dock, so I walk into in that way. I see the man sitting at the desk. He's the postmaster. We'll find out, what I mean. But what happens is when I see him, he looks up. He was on the phone. He looks up. He put the phone down and he stood up. He said, "Hey, can I help you?" I said, "Hey, I live in the area, blah blah, work for the post office, et cetera, et cetera. I was thinking about transferring." Oh, he said, "Oh, okay, cool." I guess he saw my ID at that point, and then he heard what I said. I told him where I live. He was like, "Oh, yeah, that's route such and such." And so then he proceeded to tell the other person on the phone he'll call him back. I guess it wasn't important. And then he walked me around the building and he was like, "Let me see what they had open." So we just talking, chit chat, and whatever. And that's how that went. And then I told him, what I was doing. And he kind of was like, "All right, you probably not gonna come here because your route's better than what we have available." You know what I mean? But he said, he'll let me know if something else opens up. We shook hands and then, I went about my business. You know what I mean? And he saw me out, make sure I got in my car cool, and he waved, I pulled off. So I had a situation recently in Philly at our station where we had a bullshit acting manager. They used the term acting because it wasn't fully that person's job, but they were bullshit. And we had to deal with that person.
This is true.
This is true. So I went down to the main office of delivery in Philadelphia, 19104, and I think they were working on a door, so already the door is not secure because they're working on a door. But as always, I had my badge on me, so people know that I work for the post office. Maintenance guys that were working on the door, they saw the badge, they looked right at me, looked right at the badge. I was just asking, "Hey, you know where the secretary is for the area manager?" Because in the city we have area managers who are in charge of certain sections. And they're pretty much right below the postmaster. So in Philly it goes postmaster, area managers, then you have your station managers, and then you got the supervisors. That's like the level tree for the people that's in the rural area that's not familiar with the city. So I go in there, I walk, I'm kind of on my way around, because I used to work there. So I go in there, I walk past the first door, and I see a gentleman sitting there, and he looks up. I'm like, hey, excuse me, sir. I'm like, you know where I can find a secretary for, the area managers? And he looks, he kind of has a wide and surprised look on his face. Never once asks me, like, who I am or where, why I'm here or if I even work for the post office. He just says, oh yeah, they're all in the conference room right around the corner. Mistake number one. You don't just tell somebody that doesn't identify themselves where everybody is. Because you don't know exactly what the reason he's there for. Granted, I said I'm looking for the secretary, but I could have just been saying that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I literally I do what he says. I go around the corner into, and I look and I see, oh yeah, everybody is in there, just sitting there. But it look like they're about to have a meeting, so I don't want to disturb the meeting. So I go back to the gentleman, because I'm like, yeah, that was mistake number one. I'm going to make you do some work, because you shouldn't just be sitting there just looking at me walk to this room full of all these other important people, I guess. So then I peek my head back in, hey, they're like they're in a meeting. Maybe I can just wait, till it's over, whatever. He was like, oh no, they're waiting for me. They haven't started yet. Oh, well, who are you? So then he decides to stand up finally. And then he said, oh, I'm the postmaster. I was like, oh, okay, cool. You're even better. I work for the post office. And then, of course, there's a level of relaxation that kind of falls over them.
His shoulders went
Yeah, there's a level of relaxation that kind of falls over the gentleman after I tell him I work for the post office.
Oh my
this
God.
is like 3 or 4 minutes into me being in the building.
I thought you were coming to get me. Oh my God.
Please don't do nothing to me, man.
So then he comes around the corner, he comes around the desk finally, you know what I mean? We shake hands, whatever, and I tell him what my discrepancy is and why I need to see the person. He was like, okay, cool. He's like, I'll see if I can get the person to come. But I think at that time they were already kind of waiting for him. So they were trying to figure out what was holding him up. And the lady came out. He was like, hey, perfect. He said, can you get this young man's information? Blah, 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 blah. This, that, and third. I give her the information, cool, boom, I head out the door. That was completely unprofessional from the beginning.
That's
Notice
really
how I
opposite,
said,
too.
the first guy, when he saw me, got up.
Make sure.
He got up because he doesn't know me from nowhere. He's never seen me before. So, of course, he gets up out of his seat. So, you know what I mean? To find, then he asked me, hey, how can I help you? What's going on? Because he's not about to direct me anywhere. He stopped me right here where he sees me to figure out what do I need. Because this is a government federal building.
Yeah.
The other gentleman was just kind of like, oh, just go around the corner, right? I could, for all we know, I could have an AK-47.
Folded up in the arm.
Yeah, bro.
They're over there.
You know what I mean?
What?
Like you don't. That's not what you do. That's not what you do. But see, when you living right, you don't live in fear of people.
Yeah, that's true.
When you living right, you do your job. You don't mind approaching. Hey, excuse me, how can I help you? Oh, you work for the post office? All right, good. Okay, cool. What station you from? What do you need? And after that, you can go from there, and I'll let you walk around the building or whatever, because I feel comfortable because of the vibe you're giving off as we're having this conversation, and you're giving me information, and I see you have a badge on that indicates that you are who you say you are.
Absolutely.
It doesn't happen a lot in Philly. People can just walk into some of these stations with nothing on them, and no one says a word.
Yep.
And that's a health hazard and a danger.
Oh, yes.
And that should definitely be addressed when we get into contract negotiations.
Protection of the carriers.
Protection of the
And
carriers
people-
and the clerks and everyone that resides inside the buildings that we call federal property.
Because how many times carriers got to get robbed?
Exactly,
Yeah.
Or just not even that. People just walk up on the dock and be like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, what the heck? Like, you hear like, didn't we have a time where somebody walked in the building and
Yeah, we had an incident a couple years back in Roxborough Station where a gentleman, he's a big black guy, about 6'5", something like that. Kind of old though. He was kind of like probably in his 50s. And he's walking around smiling, waving at everybody. Now I was new at the station, so I thought, hey, maybe this is a carrier who retired. You know, everybody's smiling because they see him. I'm like, oh, they probably know him. All right, whatever. So I'm just chilling, case in the mail or whatever.
Nobody knew him.
Yeah, apparently after a while, because he just kept walking around, and I was looking at everybody's face, and they kind of looked like a little uneasy. And then I heard one of the guys was like, yo, you know who that is? And they were like, nah, I don't know who that is. And I'm like, wait. I stopped, and I said, y'all don't know that person? They were like, no. I'm like, he didn't used to work here? He's not an old employee? They were like, no. I said, come on, yo. He done walked over to the supervisor's desk and smiled at her, and walked over to the pass machine, then walked, you know what I'm saying? You would have thought he worked in the station the way he was just walking around. So I walked over to the gentleman, told him, yo, my man, you can't be here. You got to get up out of here. You know what I mean? I proceeded to show him where the door was and make sure he went through that door.
mind you, he was heavily intoxicated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not one person approached the gentleman because they're
Not-
fucking scared.
It should not have been that easy to just walk in there.
So, now granted, I'm pretty sure in the AOs you guys are a little more, I would hope around the country you guys are a little more secure with how you handle your building. But people in Philly are lazy as shit.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
The management in Philly, the management in Philly is lazy as shit. But I'll tell you this much. When it comes to 19128, 19128, I don't give a damn who you are. When you walk in that building, you better have your badge on you.
Yeah.
Or I'm gonna treat it like it's a nightclub and I'm gonna bounce you up out of it.
Got idea?
The crazy part
Good
about
idea.
it.
Well, wait, I'm gonna say it again. 19128, Roxborough Station. You come in that building, you better have a badge on you, male or female. If you do not, I will throw you out of that building, literally. Because we're not having it. If it's a federal building, we're gonna act like it's a federal building. You're gonna get treated like they treat you at a federal building. If you try to walk in the White House, they might throw you on your neck.
Oh, you ain't getting past the front desk.
If you go up in that Capitol, y'all saw what happened when people went up in that Capitol building. Somebody died.
Yeah, somebody, I hear you.
You try to walk up in the Treasury, what you think they're gonna do to you?
Oh, you done. Oh, definitely. You're done.
Yeah,
Treasurer,
you're not playing that.
You're done.
I can't speak for the rest of Philly because I can't be in 20 million places at once. But 19128, you don't come in that building without a badge on. Period.
Well, do you think that's because most of the people in management are female?
Well, in Philly, majority of them are, yeah.
Yeah, and because they're, not saying, like you said, some guys are just soft, just what it is. But mostly because most of the stations we've been at, management, other than one station I've been at when I was at King Session, management, most of the time we've been in the post office, from what I've seen, has been female.
Yeah.
So at the time when that gentleman walked in, management was all females, right?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah. Because we didn't have an actual acting manager.
Yeah.
She got promoted.
Yeah.
It was just the supervisor that was running the station. The closest supervisor was a female, and the middle person that was learning at the time was a female.
Yeah. So,
But there were enough men in that building where we could have been like, yo, my man. We're
oh
not
no,
gonna-
as carriers, yes.
Yeah, we're not going to ask you
Carriers,
twice.
yes. Yeah. So,
Security!
I'm just, talking on the fact that most of the people in the post office that I've seen, and as of late, in management, and that's supposed to be of authority at the time, or female. And a lot of them are non-confrontational.
Yeah.
So, because I remember that day.
Yeah.
I think, I was there too. And I seen the supervisors just watching them walk. Nobody said nothing.
Looking scary.
And I assumed they knew him too because he was walking around waving at people. So I'm assuming that
I thought he retired.
Yeah, like he retired.
Retired people show up sometimes. To
they
say
show
what's
up
to
sometimes,
everybody.
say hi, especially around the holiday season. They say hi, whatever, and they keep moving. But this dude was there for a little bit, like he worked there, like he was about to hit the streets.
Some, get your satchel.
Like, look, man, can't give him a bag.
Give him a bag.
Yeah, like Aaron said, he was intoxicated. He probably didn't even remember where he was. But Rick walked into the door. He wasn't nasty or nothing like that.
Nah, well, you the man, huh?
Yeah, that's all he really said. And he
Somebody, man.
He know not playing with him pretty much.
he wrote, he was gone. But because I said it to our previous acting manager about a lot of things that happen because most females are non-confrontational or they pretend like they're confrontational until shit hits the fan. And you need more men. Not saying all men are confrontational, but the presence alone changes a lot.
Yeah.
It changes a lot because as men we have presence. We have that, that stature about us that makes people think twice. That's why when if a woman walking down the street alone, if a dude wants to try her, he tries her. But if she's walking down the street with a man, he doesn't try her. You know why? Because it's a man.
Like I saw a video a while ago. I think I told you guys about it, where it was like they interviewed a serial pedophile dude, and he was saying like he was literally like giving people like I guess because they asked him for the documentary research purposes, he was telling them what pedophiles look for, and the first thing he said was before they pick a victim, they make sure that there's no father, no man around.
Oh shit.
Wow.
But if the child doesn't have a stable man in their life, that's the person they go after. Like, you know what I mean? Because they don't want to deal with the confrontation of dealing with the male person that's in that kid's life. So that's what he means by like how important it is to have a male presence.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that's what we need with these contract negotiations. We need
Somebody stand first. 10 toe, brother.
He tried to be serious when he said that.
I was trying to hold we need a strong male presence
I'm gonna tell you like this.
in that job.
No, I ain't trying to harp on my man, but it's like once you get a DUI, you can't handle the business for me, yo.
No.
I can't trust if you can't even be sober driving home. How you gonna negotiate a contract?
Till I sign it in.
Matter of fact, you're the perfect person that people like Universal Sonia Warner, Sonia Warner want to give record deals to. The guy that has DUI, 'cause you'll probably sign anything.
Till I sign it in.
Right, and they like, listen, man, a person without DUI get 50, but because you had a DUI, I'm gonna give you 20. Like,
Yeah, like
I'll take it.
it's like, what leverage do you have at that point where they could probably fire you for some of the infractions you've had? But they're like, you know, we're gonna let you slide as long as you let us slide with this
As long as you play ball.
negotiation.
Just sign this paper right here on
You
the
know what I
dotted
mean?
line.
Like,
listen, man, we'll,
Fresh ink.
we'll overlook this piece of paper if you
Sign your name.
sign right there. Well, that say 7 to 9%. They were negotiating 25 to 30. Well, because you in this position, we have leverage and you don't.
and so yeah, they can get 20%. You're gonna get 0 because we're gonna let you go.
Yeah.
Sign right here.
So it's like, yeah, you know, like
Where
we
am I
need people
sorry?
that are more thought provoking, more serious, more on point, and prepared to handle business in a proper way. Because like I think I said in the last podcast, like damn near every millionaire, billionaire you can think of is a person that's confrontational.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't mean they're being super aggressive or they're being angry. No, they just know what they want and they're gonna go after what they want. And they're gonna try to find a way to make what they want happen. They're not just gonna take any BS you throw at them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's, once again, that's people that have leverage. So we don't, as carriers, don't have much leverage. Like I've seen, what is it? I don't know how a lot of negotiations go with like agents for like football, basketball. Like we only know what they put out on the internet and what we read. But I was watching a TV show, old TV show, was it Necessary Remorse or something like that? I forget. The basketball down.
Survivor's Remorse.
Survivor's Remorse, yeah.
This is not a plug.
Yeah.
We're not giving advertisement, sir. We're not giving advertisement.
Matter of fact, leave that out, Rick.
I'll edit, delete.
And they was did a negotiation for the basketball player ball. I forget his name.
You watched it. Yeah, I can't think of his name.
And the guy, you know, they came with a number, and he was like, nah. He was like, nah, we worth a lot more than that. He was like, well, this is all the money the team has, and you know, this is all what we can afford. So right now, he's like, he's the best player on the team. Like, how do you only come up with this? And yeah, and then
he threatened like when he threatened to go to the team, he's like, "Well, we done here." He was like, "No." Then he waited till the very last minute. He came with a new deal.
he came with a new
He's
deal.
like, he's like, "What you mean?" He said, "We family. This is how we do business." He's like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah." He said, "You always gonna sign back here. This is business." His agent said this on. This is business. This is how we do.
You know, he waited to the last minute and he slapped them with the money that they wanted.
Yeah.
Now, but that's what you call leverage. Now, with
Yeah.
us as carriers, because we can't strike or organize, we don't have much leverage outside of protest. And which is crazy because this is how SEPTA always get their money, UPS, any other company, this is how they get their money. Whoever negotiated this rule or whatever and took our power away, they need to be dealt with immediately. And that should also be negotiated. Because if we're ever able to do that,
Well, you gotta think of it this way. That was done years and years ago.
That's
We all
right.
started.
Probably started with the post office.
Well,
Yeah, I would imagine that person probably used the N word, like own slaves.
Well, no, I mean, I know you hate to hear this word, but it was probably grandfather in that bitch. I know y'all hated it, but it's probably grandfather, and it's like, well, no, we're gonna keep this
There's
here.
probably somebody that like their grandkids or whatever fought for the South. You know what I mean?
Probably, yeah, probably.
But you know, before we drift off into something else, we can wrap it up and just just say like, we keep y'all updated what we know about the contract, and when we get some more information, we'll let you guys know. Or if you got some information that we don't got, by all means, put it in the comments below. Hit that like button, subscribe, spread the word around on Around Podcast. I know we doing our thing. And let the brother say the last words before we roll up out of here.
Speed more than like I said, man. Just give me what's old, bitch. So that's what I feel like, man. Y'all been stifling my pockets, man. I'm hurting, brother. I'm hurting. I need some money. Just give us what we owe with contract wise to make it good for all the carriers. Like I said, we are the backbone of the post office here. So, like I said, just give us what's owed to us and what's we deserve and we feel like as carriers.
Well, this is Black. You know what I'm saying? Let us know what y'all think. Like A-Rod said, let us know if y'all hear anything about the contract. Even if it's speculation, put in the comments, let us know because, we're speculating as well. We hear so many different things on the internet about the contract.
Rumors.
And yeah, all kinds of rumors. So, just, let us know.
Yeah, so this is Aaron. Like Black said, A-Ron. But yeah, alright, have a good one, everybody.
Yeah.